today I'm taking you guys behind the scenes of my filming process. And the reason why I got this tied around my head like kung fu fighting is because I usually tie my edges down, try to look presentable before I start filming. Right now, I'm still setting everything up. The first step is that I usually put the camera on the tripod, adjust it to the right height or level. Don't worry about how dark it looks. You're probably like, why is it so dark? It looks like this because, like I said, I haven't set the lights up. Without further ado, let's stop yapping and let's get started. I'm going to get the lights. I normally start off by using 2 lights. So these are the stands for the 2 lights. So I'm just gonna sit it on the floor. You guys aren't gonna see that. Ain't nobody got time to be moving this camera back and forth. So excuse me if you're not getting the most exclusive look. These are the type of lights that I use. I have 2 of them right now. Once the lights are on and everything, you'll be able to see it better. But on the back, you have a way to adjust the temperature and the colors, and a way to adjust the lighting itself. And honestly, like once we get some light going, things will be better, because I don't know if this autofocus is tearing me up or not, but I try not to worry about that. But as you can see, I'm moving around way too much to put the camera in manual focus. So I am going to get some light going because my exposure is like the lowest I've probably ever had it on. The camera's well underexposed for sure. I know that. Like right now I'm at -2. When you film, you want to be somewhere around 0. If you're going for a certain look or effect, you want to be underexposed or overexposed depending on what you're trying to do. I try to keep it at 0 because I can do a lot of color correction and grading to the footage once it's done. But if it's underexposed and overexposed too bad, sometimes you can't fix how the footage looks. So you don't want to make that mistake. So right now I am underexposed. When the lights come on, I'll probably be overexposed until I get the lights down to where it needs to be to have the effect and the look that I'm going for. So let me stop yapping. This is very simple. Like I remember when my boyfriend was the one filming, and I was kind of intimidated, and I was like, how do you do the stuff? Like, show me how to do the lights and stuff. And most people, when they're doing something for a while, their response is always going to be the same as simple. But I kid you not, it is. Like, there's a switch here. Well, is it a switch? A knob. And you just adjust. Oops. Damn. You just adjust it the way you want. So I keep the bottom of the tripod looking like this. I don't keep it like skinny because it could topple over depending on what angles and such I'm doing with the light. I keep hearing some noise here. I don't know what it is. So that's about as sturdy as it's gonna get. Like I said, I'll show you guys later. Don't get on me, because I'm not showing you. Bang. I promise you everything is fine. I'll turn the camera around a little bit so you guys can see. Bow. All right, it's way up there. It's a little flimsy, and this is what I was warning you of, why you want to keep the stand open at the bottom like a triangle, so it could give it some kind of like reinforcement. Granted, there's carpet in here, so this is like our little office space. There's carpet in here, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. And then I take this and I put it kind of like at an angle, like so. Sometimes, honestly, like if it's gonna keep rocking back and forth like this, sometimes I won't even play that game, and I'll just get like a bag of rice or something to secure the weight on the bottom. They usually have sandbags and film. We normally keep them for the C-stand, which is a lot heavier. So let me go get the rice bags. Ain't nobody got time for this. What you won't do for love. You tried everything. All right, so the good news is I have plenty of bags of rice. Let there be light. All right. Okay, so now that we have one light, just as I told you, it's super duper bright in here. So I'm about to tell y'all right now what number I'm on. The exposure is give or take -1 right now. But once I put that second light, I'll probably be at 0. The problem is my ISO is way up there, higher than what I normally keep my ISO at. When I'm filming inside, my ISO is like max 400, and 200 if I got my lighting the way that I want it to look. So 800 is very high for me, because when I finish with this footage, it might not look good. It might look, I don't know, it might not look good. Let's just leave it at that. My aperture, I have the aperture at the lowest that it can go, which means that it's supposed to help me, you know, create this whole blur effect. That's where I probably went wrong. I should have probably put it up higher, because I wasn't really filming yet, so there was no blur to capture in the background. But, you know, rookie mistake. I still make them. You're gonna make them. That's why getting your repetition up and filming as much as possible is going to be your best friend, because if I was filming as frequently as I used to, this would have never happened. My shutter speed is 1/50 because my frame rates are 24 frames per second. Now, I hear that some people like to shoot in 30 frames per second. It's like the YouTube look. I don't really care for it. It looks like we're on Channel 4 soap opera, reality TV. Not my forte. Another thing is, when I do start filming, you're not gonna see that light. I always hide my lights. So let me set up light number 2. As we figured, the more light that we're introducing, the crazier my hair looks. So just bear with me, because we didn't come here for fashion, right? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust the light, because this is way too bright. So my ISO is at 800. I obviously want to bring that number down to starting point 400. So I'm at 400 now. I'm at 0.5 underexposed, so -5. I'm not at a full stop of being underexposed. I usually like the light in the background to be like a warm light, a warm looking color. And now I'm going to position my camera to where I would actually have it if I were filming, because what you don't want to do is do a whole full setup and then you can't even, you know, film what you need to film. I'm not all the way there. I'm gonna try moving the tripod back some more, because remember, I don't want to be right against the wall either, because when you do that, you're not going to get that shallow depth blurry look. So it would be no point of me having my f-stop or aperture all the way down if I'm going to be right against my background. So I'm going to move up, and what I'm looking for, as crazy as this seems, to make sure my head is still in the camera. If I move up too much, my head's cut off. I'm too close. I don't like that look. So I'm moving back, playing around with the angles, seeing where I fall in composition wise and stuff like that. Composition wise, I don't really care for that. And I actually have a light above me. I usually cut those lights off. See how it looks? Stay hydrated during filming, because when I film, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I still get nervous sometimes. So my voice will start cracking, or, you know, I can tell that I'm nervous. And when my voice starts to get dry, I get more nervous, because I'm like, oh man, could, you know, anybody else tell that my voice is, you know, dry? So another thing is, guys, I usually have my composition grid, which is the grid. I do the rule of thirds a lot for my filming. The composition grid basically will be a frame on your screen that will split the image into 9 squares. I like to do it because I can see if I'm in the center of the screen. I can see if I'm off to the left. I can see if I'm off to the right. And different looks give different feels and effects. You're on mute, which I think is cute. I like to drink out of this mug when he's not here. It's become one of my favorite mugs. Now, here's a tip. When you're doing manual focus, there's something in your camera, and I will find the right terminology for it. Like, remember, don't laugh, because a lot of things that I do is muscle memory, right? And so it's hard to explain the technical terms of some of those things to you guys, because I know them by just touching it. So for right now, step by step, I literally went to MF, which on my camera stands for manual focus, and I'm adjusting the focus. What you see me looking at is to make sure that I'm orange. So I have peak and focus assist on. Like I said, I'll put the proper terminology, and what it does is it makes sure that I'm in focus. It'll illuminate anything that's in focus to be a color of your choice. There's usually like red, yellow, and orange, I think it is. So mine is on red. And when I'm in focus, it'll show me that I'm in focus. And let me just go ahead and take a picture of this so you guys can see. And that way I will put it in the vlog. Here's kind of how it looks. If you notice, I'm like reddish, which actually probably would be a little cute. So let's do a video instead. I'm a little reddish. If you see me move, okay, so you can see the difference when I'm moving, that I'm like illuminating, right? I will hope that you can see that. See, like if I get super close, I'm not in focus. If I back up, you'll see everything will kind of like turn reddish orange. Okay, like that's the best way that I can demonstrate for you guys. Do that. Do that, because if you don't, you will think that you're in focus and you're not. And you will film a whole video of blurry hot mess. Now it's time to take the scarf off. Let's see how we're looking. Okay, I don't know how that looks because I can't see that far. And you'd probably, you know, think that because I wear glasses I could, but I can't. So I thought I was gonna do this in front of y'all, but I lied. I'm gonna step aside to the mirror real quick and fix the shape of this hair. I think I like it. I think I'm cute. All right, so that's a wrap for the behind the scenes. Now we're gonna be getting into filming.